All right, let's dive in. Imagine this. You're sitting in a quiet Tokyo cafe. On one table, a high school student is hunched over a notebook, writing kanji again and again with calm determination. On another, a group of college hopefuls are quizzing each other on history facts, laughing at silly word plays only they seem to understand. At first glance, it might look like just studying. But if you look closer, you'll see that these students are using a set of timeless, almost ninja-level techniques to train their brains. And here's the kicker. These methods aren't just for Japanese students. They're powerful memory strategies you and I can borrow, adapt, and use to remember pretty much anything, from vocabulary in a new language, to key ideas from a book, to formulas for that upcoming exam. So let's walk through 5 Japanese-inspired learning techniques, but not in a dry textbook way. Think of this as a friendly guide, sprinkled with stories, metaphors, and practical tips you can actually use. 1. Spaced repetition. Hanpuku Gakushū. Here's a question. Would you brush your teeth for 5 hours straight once a month, or would you brush for 2 minutes every day? Of course, the daily brushing wins, unless you want your dentist to give you that look. Learning works the same way. Instead of cramming the night before, Japanese students review little by little, spreading it across days or weeks. This is called spaced repetition. Think of your memory like wet cement. If you press your hand into it once and leave, the mark will fade. But if you press again and again at carefully spaced intervals, the impression becomes permanent. In Japan, this technique shows up in how students prepare for exams. They don't wait until the last minute. Instead, they'll glance at vocabulary cards today, revisit them in 3 days, again in a week, then 2 weeks later. Each touch strengthens the neural pathways, almost like reinforcing a walking trail into a solid paved road. Try this yourself. Use a digital app like Anki, which automatically schedules reviews for you. It's like a personal trainer for your memory. Or go analog. Write review dates on a paper calendar. For example, day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, day 30. The key is consistency over intensity. Small, repeated sessions beat heroic cramming every time. It's not glamorous, but spaced repetition is the secret sauce behind why Japanese students can recall mountains of kanji characters or historical dates without frying their brains. 2-point active recall. Omoidasu Renshū. Imagine going to the gym, standing in front of the dumbbells, and just staring at them for an hour. Would your muscles grow? Of course not. But that's exactly what happens when people reread notes without testing themselves. Your brain doesn't build strength by looking at knowledge. It grows by lifting it out of memory. That's active recall. Japanese students practice this constantly. After reading a history chapter, they'll close the book and try to write down the key points from memory. After learning kanji, they'll cover the page and quiz themselves. It's not about recognition, yes, I've seen this before, but about retrieval. Can I pull this out of my brain without help? Ways you can use active recall. After reading something, close the book and summarize out loud as if you're teaching a friend. Use flashcards, one side with the question, the other with the answer. Try blurting. Open a blank page and spill everything you remember on the topic, then check what you missed. Think of your brain like a muscle. Passive reading is like watching someone else lift weights on YouTube. Active recall is you actually picking up the barbell. Painful at first, but incredibly effective. 3 mnemonics and visual associations, Goroawase. Here's where Japanese students add a bit of creativity and humor to their study routine. Ever tried remembering a long string of numbers? In English, we might chunk it into phone number format. In Japan, students often turn numbers into words using sounds. This technique, called Goroawase, is like turning dry data into a mini comedy sketch. The sillier or stranger the association, the more likely it sticks. It's not just numbers. Japanese students also create rhymes, puns, and little stories to anchor facts. If a word reminds them of a cartoon character, they'll use that image. If a historical date rhymes with a phrase, they'll sing it out loud. Try it yourself. Struggling with vocabulary? Make a visual pun. For example, to remember that Neko means cat in Japanese, imagine a cat wearing a necktie, Neko tie. For numbers, create silly stories. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Classic example of mnemonic power. If it makes you laugh or roll your eyes, it works. Metaphorically speaking, mnemonics are like duct tape. They hold together slippery facts that would otherwise escape your brain. 4. Writing by hand. Kaku Koto de Oboeru. In an age of tablets, AI, and voice-to-text, handwriting might seem old-fashioned. But Japanese students know something science has confirmed. Writing by hand strengthens memory more than typing does. Think of it like the difference between carving words into stone versus scribbling them in the sand. The act of handwriting, especially with complex characters like kanji, forces your brain to slow down, process deeply, and encode information more thoroughly. Japanese schools lean heavily on this. Students copy kanji thousands of times. It may look boring, but it's like engraving knowledge into their minds, stroke by stroke. Here's how you can use it. Instead of just highlighting, rewrite key points by hand. Try summarizing each study session in a notebook, no copy-paste, just pen and paper. If you're learning a language, physically write vocabulary instead of only typing it. Yes, your hand might ache. But that ache is like sore muscles after a good workout. It means your brain is building connections. 5. Discipline through ritual, Shūkan-ka. This one might be the most powerful of all. In Japan, preparing for major exams like the infamous university entrance tests isn't treated as a sprint. It's a marathon. Students wake up early, stick to daily routines, and approach studying with the same discipline athletes bring to training. There's even a cultural sense of study being a dojo, a place of discipline and practice, not just information. It's not about heroic bursts of energy, but about building rituals, a set time, a set place, a rhythm that turns studying from something you have to force yourself to do into something automatic. How you can create your own study dojo. Pick a specific time and place for study. Same chair, same desk, same coffee shop. Keep it short but consistent. Even 20-30 minutes daily beats random 3-hour cramming sessions. Create a ritual, light a candle, make tea, or play the same instrumental playlist. These cues tell your brain it's focus time. Think of it like brushing your teeth again. You don't debate every night whether you should brush. You just do it because it's a habit. If you make study a ritual, your brain starts showing up automatically. Final encouragement. So here's my challenge for you. Pick just one of these 5 techniques and test it this week. Maybe you'll schedule spaced reviews on your phone. Maybe you'll rewrite a chapter summary by hand. Or maybe you'll invent a ridiculous mnemonic that makes you laugh. Because memory, like any skill, doesn't improve by reading about it. It grows when you practice. Who knows? With a little Japanese-inspired study discipline, your brain might just surprise you. So, which one will you try first?